Hey everyone, I am Veronica. I am so happy to be with you today. Today we're going to be talking about concepts on manifesting your greatest desire within a deadline. Now this can be any desire, specific person, money, body, relationship related, family situation, fixing a broken relationship, making a relationship better, anything you want. Whatever it is you want right now, it can be done. And then it can be done within a deadline. So I'm going to show you how this is done and the best attitude and mindset to take. Before we do that, if you are new to my channel or would like to learn more about me, veronicaisles.com is the place to go. There you can also find my one-on-one personalized coaching. I'm happy to take you on as a client. I also have self-study courses you can do independently. Okay, so let's talk about how to manifest something under a deadline. I'm actually going to list a previous video that I made on this topic about how I manifested something very serious within a deadline. It is a great success story of mine that I think you'll find a lot of inspiration in. Okay, so manifesting under a deadline, what is the first step you take? Well, the trick is that you don't want the deadline to control you. Now, for example, this could be a deadline that you actually have, like it has to get done by this certain date or else. Or maybe you choose a deadline that you want to manifest under. It's just your preference. Either way, this information is going to apply. So you have this deadline. You know it's approaching. With every single day, you know it's approaching. You do not let that approaching day control you. Instead, you already feel at one with success. Even if the days are going by, even if you are 2 days from the deadline and nothing has appeared to have changed yet, you still feel abundant, you still feel determined. Now the thing is about whenever you're manifesting under a deadline, it can be hard to stay cheery, especially if something is really serious, like you may lose your house, which is actually the topic of my success story. I was in a dire situation where I was about to lose everything, including my beloved cats. All of my belongings, everything. And it was like do or die. I had to manifest this outcome or else lose everything. And I did it. I did it through determination. Again, manifesting is not about avoiding crying. It is not about avoiding being scared. It is not about avoiding all negativity. Negativity can't hurt you. If you want to manifest this outcome, you need determination, you need fire within you, you need that drive, that passion, that strength. Like you are the underdog who is going to win. You are going to win it all. We love underdogs. Kind of like the year Slumdog Millionaire won the Oscars. Like they were the underdog, yet they took it all. I love that movie. I seriously love that movie. Watch it if you haven't already. It's one of my favorites. It makes me so happy every single time I see it. I love the dance routine at the end. I seriously love it. I could watch it right now. I actually want to watch it right now. Okay, back to the focus of the topic. Okay, so you are determined. You have this fire within you, this drive. And with every single moment that passes, you have this drive. Now do whatever is within your power physically to make something happen. However, there is a fine line between forcing something and taking logical action. Now, if you are trying to manifest a specific person, you need to leave them alone. Like, doing physical things is not about wooing them. It's not about forcing yourself upon them before they marry the third party. That's not going to work. However, if you are in a dire situation where you need to make money like really fast, don't sit at home and expect the money to just come to you. Go get yourself out there and try to find a job. The trick is you need to be logical about your situation. You need to take an honest look. What physical action makes sense and what physical action is going to constitute me forcing something or pushing something or being fixated on something? So it's good to try to understand this difference. And if you're having a hard time understanding it and you need someone to give some insight into your situation, well, that's where I have my one-on-one coaching. I'm happy to help. I also have free advice, so you don't have to necessarily pay for it. veronicaloa.boardhost.com. I do YouTube lives. I have Anchor podcasts, free, all free. You could ask someone else that is familiar with the law of attraction too, what they think the logical physical steps are that you need to take and what is going too far and pushing something. Because we don't want to push, we don't want to force, but we do want to take the action that makes sense. Again, when you are trying to manifest a love relationship, that's usually going to be about sitting back and just kind of letting them come to you because they're another person who has to come to you, has to make that decision. However, if you are, trying to manifest better health, don't, go to all the fast food restaurants and eat a bunch of food that's bad for you and then expect to be healthy. No, let's start treating our body well. That's a good physical thing to do. That's just an example. Okay. So manifesting under a deadline, you want to find alignment. You want to find yourself being at one with having this thing under the deadline. So we don't want to push things, we don't want to force things, but we want to feel at one with the very thing. Now, even if you can't feel it as absolute because you're scared it may not happen, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're going to fail. It just means you're human. We're all human. It's okay. We're allowed to be scared and still manifest. Now, it's good to admit that a way exists to your greatest desire under this deadline. A way does exist. You may not know how on earth it exists or what has to happen to make that happen, but it does exist, so admit it. In fact, reinforce that to yourself as many times as you need to for comfort, that a way does exist. I don't know what that way is, but that's okay, I don't need to know. Let's just let it happen. You don't have to have a clue about the logistics, the outer things that have to happen. You just need to know that a way exists. So simply admit that and leave it at that. This is enough. Less is more. A little goes a long way. I compare it to salt. We like a little salt to season our food. We don't want an overpowering amount of salt because that food would make us spit it out. We would be bah, disgusting. So I compare it to salt as a season, not other seasonings, because actually I go crazy with other seasonings, so. But you can't go crazy with salt because that's kind of disgusting. Now again, your human mind, your ego mind, because it's not really your human mind, it's that ego, that evil devil on your shoulder. It's going to try to convince you of the reasons why this can't happen under the deadline, but then you also have the angel on your shoulder, the God. You have God on your side, the universe, love, life, goodness, telling you it's going to be okay. A way is going to be made. Which one are you going to listen to? Now again, the ego mind is going to look to your past for evidence. It's going to look to all obstacles as evidence. It's going to try to understand, if it can't figure it out, it's not going to get on board with this particular thing happening within the deadline. But again, the ego mind, never gets on board. So it's okay. Just don't give your passionate energy to that voice. Let that voice be there. Let it hang out. It's a part of you. That's okay. It wants to be included. Let it be included. Just don't pay it much attention. It's almost like, that unwanted person that comes to the party that's kind of annoying. But if you give them too much attention, then they just get more fueled and more fired up about being annoying. But if you kind of just ignore them, they don't really act up and then they leave. They leave the party early. Okay, when manifesting under a deadline, continually reinforce this idea of conscious creation and its existence. Manifest small things for building confidence. Continually try to read new lectures, listen to new lectures, read new things on the law of attraction. Keep it new, keep it fresh, keep reinforcing these concepts. That you are the creative force within your life. And you can, in fact, draw this particular conclusion within this deadline. You get to decide the outcome. No one else decides it for you. That's when light bulb moments will happen. That's when moments of comfort will happen, moments of relief. We call those moments alignment. You always want to feel aligned with the result, even if the result is not here yet. Do not reinforce that you must not be aligned or you must have a blockage because the situation hasn't resolved yet. Instead, choose to say and to reinforce that you are absolutely aligned and you just are already the winner, already the victor. Physical proof is right around the corner. I mean, think about how wonderful that sounds and how wonderful that feels. Manifesting under a deadline is about, again, not letting the deadline control you. And if for some reason that deadline passes and the thing doesn't happen, it does not mean that it won't still resolve. I've had supposed deadlines come without success, and then suddenly it resolves in a way that I didn't know was possible past the deadline. The greatest example that I like to give is when I was manifesting the private concert with the Killers at the opening of the Cosmopolitan Hotel. There was a deadline when the winners were supposed to be announced by. My name wasn't called. I still felt aligned. I was going to be there. And a few days later, they said I was picked. They were just running late due to the Thanksgiving holiday. It happens. You know, there's always exceptions. So you remain in alignment with that decision. You don't look to the logical outcome. You just say, this is mine, this is who I am, this is my path, this is my destiny, this is what I choose. And life will find a way every single time. I hope that this video could inspire you, enlighten you, make you feel all warm and delicious inside. If you liked it, like it. Literally, click the like button if you want to. You don't have to, but it'd be amazing if you did. Leave a comment below to help others in their journey, help encourage them. Learn more about me, veronicaisles.com. Follow me on Instagram. Have a good day.